Well, first, a big thank you and welcome to the over 7,000 of you that took the time to subscribe to my channel over the weekend. I'm still in awe. That's incredible. So today, we're going to be putting this 3/16 sap line up. And my boss is getting antsy here. He's ready to go. So there you go, buddy. We're good. I'm gonna jump on here and we'll be back in a minute. I've got 500 feet of this 3/16 pipe. It's from CDL. I just ordered it online. It was delivered by Canada Post. We're using 3/16 because we want that smaller diameter than the regular 5/16 that I use for my drop lines that I ran into buckets last year. The smaller diameter of the 3/16 pipe compared to the 5/16 is going to give us a longer column of sap, which is going to really help with that vacuum, because what we're really doing is using gravity to suck the sap out of the trees with the natural vacuum that it's going to create. So I'm going to start on this tree here, the top of my rung, and I'm gonna go all the way down. Those are some red maples down there. I'm not gonna tap them, but I am gonna run my pipe longer because I get more of a drop. I figure, and I don't have an accurate, I just use an app on my iPhone for elevation. It was telling me about 5 meters in elevation. How accurate that is, I don't know, but that's gonna give us approximately 15 feet of drop. And I used my GPS unit, my old Garmin here. I used it, I marked that tree as a starting waypoint, and then down to the end, and it said that I was about 470 feet. So that's good because I've got 500 feet of this. So what I'm gonna do first is I'm gonna run it out. I would normally just loop it around this tree and run it, but this page wire fence is giving me issue here. I can't, because I want to snake in between all the trees all the way down, because that will help support my pipe. So because of the page wire fence, I'm not going to be able to get this whole big roll through the squares in the fence. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to stretch it from end to end, because what I want to do is I want to kind of roll it off so that it's, because it is a semi-rigid pipe, so that way it's not twisting as it's coming off. So I want to make sure that I'm rotating the roll as I go. If you want, you can buy a reel that you would sit on the ground, put this on, and then just pull it off. But I don't have that. You know, you could probably repurpose a garden hose reel for that too, like one of the ones you get from like a home hardware store. I'm going to loop it around this first tree, and I'm gonna run my whole line out. Then I'll pull a bit back, because I'm only tapping these larger maples. And then I'll pull it back, and then I'll snake it through the lines, because that way I can just take the single end and kind of thread it through the fence as I go. And here comes health and safety. Halfway now. I've made it, and I have leftover, which is good. Here's where my anchor is going to be, and this is what we're going to be using here. This is it flows straight through, but it's 3/16 to a 5/16, and then it's got this hook on it where I don't have the piece of wire yet. I'll use the old one here, like this. So that's gonna hook on to like a wire. It'll be a wire I'm gonna have to hold it. So my 3/16 is gonna be pulling this way on it, and then down here I'm just gonna have a 5/16 line that'll run down into a barrel. Now my next step is I'm going to go back to the very top, and I'm going to unhook my hook on the end. I'm gonna pull my pipe back, and then I'm gonna snake it through the trees. Just worked out that's gonna be easier for me because I don't have a pipe reel. Get a pipe reel. Something else I want to mention, because your run might not be a nice straight shot like mine is, as long as the top of your pipe is higher than the bottom of your pipe, you can have dips in between. You can go higher than like say this tree I tap down here, the next one I have to go a little higher because of whatever reason, and then I go back down again. You're still going to get vacuum. It is going to suck the sap up that little bit of a rise, and then it's going to come back down again. Say if you were in a bush and you had to cross a lane, you could come down the trees, you could go up over top of that laneway, drop back down again, and continue on back down to the bottom of the run. So as long as your end point has a considerable elevation difference than your top point, you're gonna have vacuum created by that gravity. I hope. Okay, I'm back at my starting point. I've got my pipe snaked down between each tree, back down to the bottom. This one here, I'm gonna start just a little higher. Just give me a little bit of extra elevation at the top. And I might actually experiment. I might try drilling a hole below the pipe, then running up with the drop to here, and then I'll maybe try one. These trees, I'm gonna put about 2 taps in each one. They're big old trees. They run really well. As you can see by this one, they might be getting near the end of their life. So anyways, back to this. So I started back here. Again, I've got my hook over on the side of the tree that my pipe is coming off of. It's not gonna. The thing about GoPros and the climate that I'm in is that the batteries just die. It gets cold and they die. And I'm keeping it inside my jacket where it's warm. Okay, back to where I was before the battery died. I've got my hook on this end. And like I said, it's coming off the side of the tree, so it's not putting tension, pulling, because there's gonna be a bunch of tension. It's not pulling straight out on this, it's more off to the side. Next, I'm gonna go back down my whole line and I'm gonna snug it up good and tight. It's because once I put the tees in, it's actually gonna slack the pipe off a bit because there's gonna be 2 tees at each tree. But then again, after that, I'll have to retighten it. So that's what I'm gonna do next. If you're still with me, how about one of these down there? Also, because you're still with me, I'm going to do a quick recap so you don't have to go back to the front of this video to see everything again. So I started with the 3/16 pipe from CDL. It's 500 feet long, and actually I forgot to mention this is 8-year lifespan, which means this can stay up for 8 years and it'll take about that long before it starts to break down and needs to be replaced. Then up at the top end, we started our higher elevation at the top with our end of line hook. We've gone all the way down. I've snaked between all the trees, and I've ended down at the bottom about 470 feet away from here with approximately a 15-foot drop to give me my vacuum. And then down at that end, I had the other fitting that I showed you as well. Again, I'll list all those fittings, part numbers down below, as well as the website for CDL. They can get you what you need. And honestly, it was quick and easy ordering too. I ordered it and within a week I had it. The only thing I'm missing is the tool for inserting the tees, which is on back order, and I hope I get it soon. I still have a bit of time before I will be tapping the trees though, but I'd like to have everything ready to go by then. Thanks for watching. Subscribe if you want to see the next step, which will be putting my drops in with that tool and tapping the trees. That video will be coming up in the future. If you subscribe, click the notification bell, you'll know when that video comes along. Again, if you're just new to my channel, over the past few days, I really appreciate the support. Thank you for giving me a shot, and we'll see you in the next video.